Two and two is four. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Thank you for coming. I do appreciate it. It's good to see you. You're looking good. Healthy, happy, wise. Anyway, how wise can you be if you're watching me? That being said, today is a weird day. I got a bunch of stuff in the mail. I want to talk to you about one of them today. Some of the others I'll talk to you about at a different time. But Folio Society. I'm a big fan of the Folio Society, and I've got quite a few books from the Folio Society. One of them I showed you earlier this year, and I was really excited to get that. That is a version of George Orwell's 1984. And really quickly, we'll take a look at this version. But the reason I'm showing you this one is I got a different one in the mailbox today. And I don't really know the difference other than the looks. So this one that I have right here, I'll show you just a little bit about it. Do a little bit of a comparison between the two. This one right here says, let's see what it does say. Fourth printing 2020. And it's got quite a few illustrations. I'll go through here, show you a little bit about some of these illustrations. Because I don't know, does the other one that I just got have different stuff in it? I have no clue. But this version, I guess, would be their latest and newest version of George Orwell's 1984. And they did a phenomenal job. Flipping phenomenal. I do love this edition. And I got another one just because it looks different. I don't have a problem with having multiple versions of the same book because, quite frankly, I've got probably 6 or 7 versions of some books. Books that have been around a while. People produce new editions with different features, different covers, different looks for one reason or another. A lot of times, I'll jump on it. I'm not too averse to having a bunch of versions of the same book. Some of you are, and that's fine. That's your deal. You do exactly what you do, and don't let me talk you into or out of any such things. But 1984 is a book that I've got 3 different versions of, and this one having been my latest. But there's another edition, got a different cover, different design, looks different. It's been out a little longer, I think, that I've been seeing for sale over and over and over, and I wanted it. But I didn't want to pay too much. I don't like getting my pants pulled down over price, if you know what I mean. But I found one at a price that I liked on eBay, and I mashed them buttons and got that mother coming my way. So here it is, all the way from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. And if there's one thing I can't stand, it's the fact that I haven't been to a town called Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Being in Wisconsin, it's probably kind of cold right now, this being mid-November. But I think if I go back maybe late September, that might be a good time in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Put that on my list. Remind me places I need to go in September, maybe early October, Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. But in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, there's an eBay seller who shipped me a book in a box. I got to get that mother out, and I've done plenty of a-doing, so that's enough a-doing. Without any further of that ado, let's get it open, see what it looks like. The box is a little bit small, coming from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, but if there's cushion in there, we should still be good. I feel much more comfortable when I buy a book or when I ship a book that box be considerably bigger than the book, knowing that somewhere along the way this stuff's gonna perhaps take a beating. And no matter how much I love my friendly neighborhood mail lady, there's a whole lot of steps in the process to get from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin to Central Florida, and a lot of opportunities for books to get bashed. But it kind of looks like Fond du Lac, Wisconsin did me pretty good. On 3 sides, I've got some kind of fiber fill padding. I haven't seen that before on shipping, but it looks like it's good enough. On the top, there's no padding apparently. So that would be the part of concern. But let's get this stuff out. Y'all didn't come here to hear my opinions, my theories on shipping and shipping methods. Y'all came here, y'all, see that? You all came here probably just to look at a book. Had nothing to do with me. But anyway, I'm going to show you that book so you get a little bit of me in the process. But here is the edition that I was looking for, kind of interested. You see, it's hard to see that. 1984 Folio on the spine. You got the gold foil stamping. It is embossed, it is indented into the spine. And it reminds me a little bit of Jules Verne's Journey to the Center of the Earth. Let's pull that out real quick and show you why I say that. The sizes don't match, but the spine designs are similar. It reminds me a little bit of it. Anyway, put Jules Verne to the side, and nobody puts Jules Verne to the side. A very basic, very paper slipcase, but I like slipcases. So even the ones that aren't fancy or nice, any slipcase is better than no slipcase, in my opinion. So I always say sign's better, slipcase is better as well. And here's the cover of this book. It looks cool. This is why I wanted this book, because it looks different. I have no idea what it looks like inside, and it's got a bunch of illustrations. I can tell because I can see them right there. So there is the Folio Society's binding. They do a good job of binding. Always a sewn binding, everyone that I've ever noticed anyway. Quality stuff. There's no dust jacket if you're not familiar with the Folio Society. The artwork is printed directly on the boards. And you're going to get a variety of materials. This is not the cloth boards that you'll get on some. This is a shiny, almost paper, I guess a paper covered, how you describe that. But that is what it is. Our end papers are plain, but colored. Let's pull it. Oh, I think I'm looking at different artwork, but we'll see. See if it rings some bells. Did I show you that one already from the other book? So this one is a third printing, 2003. Illustrations by Stephen Devine, 2001. I did not look to see who did the illustrations in the other edition. Remind me when we're done. I'll take a look at that. See who did that. There was Pain Coming, page 269 for the frontis. So let's take a look here. Let's see illustrations. What do you think about that? A different style, and man, it looks nice. It looks neat. It fits. It fits this story for me. I read this book before I'd watched any of the movies that were out. And sometimes I can't say that with stuff that's been around a while. But I read this book, and then I watched some of the movies. And honestly, I can't remember which one's which. There's some good ones. There's some very obscure films that I liked that I can't find now when I go back to watch them. Can't find them streaming anywhere. But honestly, I read the book, and then I watched some movies, and I didn't care much for them. I don't know. I just didn't care for them at the time. But I want to say a couple years ago, I went on a bit of a streak where I watched perhaps 3 movie versions of 1984. And this time I liked every one. So it just shows how tastes change, how attitude, mood, all those kinds of things change. And so what we're seeing at this point is if you like to have more than one version of a book, that the Folio Society has offered at least 2 different versions, and they're different in more ways than simply cover design. The interior illustrations are very different. The typeset and paper color, we'll look at that. I don't know how much different they are. I don't know. Guess I didn't pay much attention. But nice bold type font on this one. Relatively bright white papers. And one more illustration here. Man, this is a story that touches a lot of nerves and means a lot of things to different people. It's funny how very different people can view this story in very different ways on what it means. It seems to mean bad things about practically everybody today. But anyway, people look at it in different ways, point to it as an example of bad things in different ways, and such as that. But I found the story, I love the story, bit of a spoiler alert. The ending is rotten in terms of it doesn't go well for our main character. But it's not an ending that makes me feel hopeless, which is strange because things go bad and in the end, 2 plus 2 equals 5. And that's sad and hopeless and depressing, but no, wait. This person's independent thought almost conquered, and in the end, he was beaten. But it gives us hope that perhaps independent thought can still exist, can still conquer ultimately. This was one man's journey. There are others. And that kind of attitude about this story does give me, does make it feel more hopeful that there are more of us out there than just the one. But anyway, quickly, let's look at the typeset and stuff like that on this one. A little bit smaller on the newer edition, a little bit less bold, I want to say. The other one was darker and blacker, larger. The paper seems to be about the same color and similar in texture. So it almost comes down to really, ultimately, do you prefer the artwork in one or the other? So there are our covers, and I don't know. I think this one looks neater, but I like this one better perhaps. And then the spines, I would have to give the edge to this one, but again, this one looks more cool, more artistic, I don't know. And then the back, no real competition here, very plain and very artistic. The artwork between the two, which one did you like better? It's hard to say. Artwork is, to me, artwork is a story. Artwork tells the story, and if it does a good job of telling the story, these color illustrations on the newer version compared to these more basic, more bleak, I dare say this type of artwork probably fits the story better in my opinion. I love them both. I would say a toss-up on the artwork. And at the end of the day, as much as I hate to be in the medium, I have to admit there's nothing wrong with being in the middle. So many times people say, this is the worst I've ever seen in my life, or this is the best I've ever seen in my life. And they kind of say you got to be one or the other. And I'm not there. Most things are not the worst I've ever seen or the best I've ever seen. Most things are somewhere in the middle. And it's okay to like something for some reasons and to like something else for other reasons, or to say that something's good or medium or what have you. But when I look at these two books on my shelf, I'm going to say I don't know which one's better. I kind of like the artwork in this one better, but this one might be better. I don't know. And I kind of like the cover just because of, to me, it kind of fits. Big Brother's watching you sort of a thing. But this one looks better, in my opinion. The spines, this one is neat and bold and easy to read, and I like the colors. This one's a little bit harder to read, but it looks neat. It looks cool. I don't know. I can't say which one I like better. Maybe you decided already which one you like better. Let me know. Chat me up. Hook me up in the comments which one's better. I did say I was going to look up the artist in the newest one. I didn't tell you that. I didn't get that name. I'm pretty sure we're talking about two different artists. So illustrations here, Jonathan Burton. So the illustrations in the newest one, Jonathan Burton. And great job, both artists. Great job, both editions. Glad to have them both in my collection. Glad I was able to get this one at a price I really wanted to pay. So I got no bad things to say. Fond du Lac, Wisconsin hooked a brother up. Thank you, Fond du Lac, and all of the folks who shipped me books from there. Just one as far as I know. Anyway, as far as I can tell, that's all the lies I can think of. C'est la vie. Baby. Doo-doo.